Sabrina Wallace, she states that AI is already inside of us, generating its own network for your entertainment. You know, you've read about smart dust, right? You've read about mRNA, right? You've read about these things dropping on us where they're recording fibers from Mount Everest to a person in an autopsy being found within their bloodstream. And what are the intentions of this, you know? The only thing I can think of is confinement. Because for it to be able to have access or control, I guess, over your system, you must be within signal range. Area, body network, whole area, body network, you understand where I'm going? So the only solution would be to be outside of the network system. That is it. It was funny is I just tried to make this video. And every time I hit the check, the video would freeze. I had like 2 minutes, 30 seconds recording. And most likely it has to do something with the plane thing, with how they have fibers on Mount Everest to autopsy bodies. But again, what are the intentions? And tell me, is your fight or flight mentality being triggered for no reason? Ever? Randomly? Why do you think that is? I'm just asking if it happens to you, because it never happens to me. Never. Never. AI is generating its own network in us, allegedly. For the purpose of what?
This is the Princess of Bulgaria over here, Kalina. And many people, people had ideas about, Michelle Obama. Many people wondered, just also Barbara Bush may pick up what I'm putting down here. This one also, people wonder if they're kind of installed as some form of like subconscious subliminal manipulation, when they install these people. And of course, we can't forget Bridget Macron. Watch how she sits down here. Many people are puzzled. It just seems odd. Just watch. That's usually how someone else sits down. This has surfaced on Twitter, and people are wondering if the same situation is going on with the Princess of Bulgaria. It's all well and good to know that certain interesting things are going on with super famous people, and perhaps lies and tricks and manipulations, But I will say, whether or not that is the case with some of these people, which do not wait for the mainstream to confirm this, by the way. It's just it's going to be something you're going to have to, don't hold your breath, put it that way. It all has to do with the erosion of the family unit. They want to do away with father, mother, and children. That unit, that bond is so strong. When that is transposed across a community of strong fathers, strong mothers, that's a strong community, that's a strong town, that's a strong city, that's a strong country. Strong countries are hard to manipulate. And so they're attacking us from all ends here. The chemicals in the food, water, and air supply, the brainwashings and subliminal messages that they fill the media with. And then also the chemicals we're finding that affect frogs that are very unfortunate as well.
These are the rarest human features. The rarest zodiac sign of all time is Capricorn. This is where you're born between December 22nd and January 23rd. These are the days with the fewest births. Only 8% of the world's population has a birthday in between these dates. Next up, if you're a natural redhead, you're extremely rare. They represent just 2% of the world's population. Both the mother and the father need to carry this gene in order to pass it down. Only 25% of people in the world are
Josh said that he was grabbing McDonald's one night after work. While ordering, he noticed something strange. 2 voices talking at once through the speaker. He said that he shrugged it off as a glitch, but when he pulled up to the drive-thru window, he said that the cashier noticed his bracelet that said Jesus. Suddenly, according to Josh, the man's eyes went completely black. His teeth sharpened and his whole face twisted. Josh yanked his card back and sped off. He said that to this day, he still wonders if it was just exhaustion or something.
Something is going on with Ice Spice. What do y'all notice about this picture? In this video, I'm going to show you. You can see her walk up. Something looked like it wasn't clicking up top, like she was up out of there for a couple seconds. She was lost in reality. But y'all tell me what y'all observed.
Okay.
Did y'all peep the way she walked up? Watch again. Look at this part.
Yeah, she just paying attention to the cameras.
Also, another thing. Look at her back, y'all. The video is even crazier. Watch her back. Look at her back, y'all.
Did you know the Great Sphinx has a tail? and that it also may have been built by the civilization of Atlantis thousands of years earlier than mainstream history suggests for a very specific purpose. The Sphinx was not made by the ancient Egyptians. We're told it was built about 4,500 years ago, around 2500 BC, but many believe it was constructed by a civilization that far predates anything we know. The Sphinx itself, it shouldn't even exist. For one, the ancient Egyptians were obsessed with recording everything they did. Yet, just like the pyramids, despite there being hieroglyphs that go back 5,000 years and more, not a single one of them mentions the Sphinx at all. One mainstream theory suggests the Sphinx was built as a sort of guardian of the pyramids to protect the pharaoh's treasures, but over time lost its significance, and the Egyptians just forgot to mention it in any of their texts. No records of when it was built, for what purpose, or why its head is so small. The most immediate observation of the Sphinx is how tiny its head is compared to the rest of its body. It doesn't even remotely fit proportionally with its enormous body. As you may know, ancient Egyptians were masters of proportion with their art, carvings, and statues. In fact, they are quite literally world famous for it. Statues they carved like these are notoriously known for being scarily precise, almost like they were machine made. You're telling me the guys who precisely calculated all four edges of a 146 meter high pyramid to meet perfectly at the top at the same time, a marvel of engineering even by today's standards, made the mistake of getting the head too small on a monument as important as the Sphinx, said to be the face of Khafre, the successor of Khufu, yet many agree it does not look like any other depictions of Khafre across ancient Egypt. As a matter of fact, it appears as if the Sphinx once had a much larger head, thought to have originally had the head of a dog, or perhaps a lion with a full mane, and by the time the ancient Egyptians discovered it, they gave it a facelift, making it look more human and inadvertently ruining the proportions in the process. Because whoever did build the Sphinx dug it directly into the limestone bedrock beneath it, carving and hollowing out an entire enclosure around it. The blocks that were cut out of this bedrock were used to build the temple of the Sphinx right in front of it, which have mostly deteriorated over time. Now, this right here, this is the part that sealed the deal, all but confirming we've gotten the age of the Sphinx wrong all these years, even among skeptics. With initially doubtful professional geologists like Robert Schoch traveling to Egypt with the intention of proving these fringe theories wrong. Yet, upon seeing it up close for the first time from the perspective of a geologist rather than an archaeologist, he realizes it is scientifically accurate to suggest the Sphinx is far older than we claim. Because water erosion patterns around the enclosure indicate that heavy weathering by either strong or prolonged streams of water have occurred here. The Sphinx water erosion hypothesis. He and many others concluded that patterns like these definitely could not have been weathered by natural wind and sand, and also confirmed that these could not have been as a result of the Nile River flooding, leading to one of two choices, either consistent rainfall over thousands of years or super intense flash flooding. Climate data confirms this part of Egypt saw very little rainfall over the past 5,000 years, leaving us only with option 2, powerful floods, and the last era that fits the criteria that aligns with the rock patterns here was around 9600 BC, suggesting the Sphinx to be closer to 11,600 years old, conveniently lined up with the time of the Younger Dryas. And around 12,000 years ago, the Sphinx would have been facing in the direction of the constellation of Leo at the time. A lion, leading us back to the idea that the Sphinx may have originally been a lion monument with a much larger head facing the constellation that it represented, only to get washed away and buried for thousands of years, get rediscovered by the ancient Egyptians, and then forgotten again, until the 1800s, around which time the top of its head became visible from shifting sands. Then in the 1920s, the first official excavation started, finishing in 1936 for the very first time in a long time, from which many involved with the project agreed the depth that it was buried at did not match anything else in the area. There's no way the Sphinx could have been that deep underground by accident, leading them to strongly believe it was intentionally buried. And why? Because it may have been built as a safekeeper of knowledge for the legendary Atlantean Hall of Records that still exists hidden beneath it to this day.
Filed multiple patents, and they have a patent on telepathy, telekinesis, and blind sight.
They're going to create a chip that is able to harness and allow people to have these abilities.
They're working on the technology to where if you have the Neuralink, you can communicate with someone via just thought. That's in your brain. That's like almost your consciousness, being able to communicate with another consciousness.
And they're manipulating.
I can't imagine having like something else besides my thoughts in my brain that I can't control.
You know what is super weird about that? That all the Neuralink facilities are posting up next to ICE facilities, and they have a new quota where they're wanting to do thousands of new implants.
They need like volunteers.
But for science, you would need pretty general population.
Average.
Yeah.
Science has always done really well with human
Ethics.
animals,
yeah.
ethically, with
sure.
with volunteers and research.
Yeah.
They've never used anything towards animals or humans.
Yeah, to hurt them? Yeah, never.
No.
They would never do that. Never do that. Like, greed to them is nothing. Like, they don't care about money. They don't care about profit.
They put Neuralink in their brain to get
From
rid of
a
it.
burning building, and then she left him and ruined his life. Kim Yosh was a star basketball player in South Korea. He had a bright future ahead of him, probably even going to the NBA, but it was all shattered in a single second. During a house fire, Kim risked his life to save his girlfriend from a burning building. He managed to get her out safely, but he got trapped and couldn't save himself. The horrible injuries he suffered were life-changing, but what happened next is even more disturbing. After seeing how he looks now, his girlfriend left him. And even worse, his basketball career was completely over. The sport he loved and the woman he loved were both taken from him in an instant. His fame and popularity came to a screeching halt. Everything he worked for his entire life was ripped away from him. And today, Kim lives in a small farm town far away from his basketball spotlight. His story is a painful reminder that heroes don't always get happy endings, but it's not over yet. Sometimes doing the right and noble thing leaves you broken and scarred. But he says he proves something even more powerful every single day. Real strength begins where glory ends, and true heroes are made when no one is watching. Kim now says he's happy and wouldn't change a thing. He's not even mad at his ex-girlfriend.
Robbers disguised as construction workers just broke into the Louvre. These motherfuckers actually got away with France's crown fucking jewels. In broad daylight. I can't think of a more daunting task than breaking into the Louvre at 9 a.m. I mean, everyone's thinking there's no way anyone would actually try to rob this place. The statement that was put out said that what they stole was of immeasurable value.
Side note, and completely unrelated, the U.S. Treasury could use some construction work, and
I was thinking of volunteering my labor. Dude, no one's actually gonna try and rob this place, right? Someone's gotta check Nick Cage's location this last week because I've got a sneaking suspicion. In about 2 years, we will get the most legendary Netflix documentary we have ever seen.
Keep me awake at night. Not for the reason that you would think. In the ancient world, you have stone circles and dolmens on every continent globally. That doesn't get me. 3 different people build the same pyramids using the same architectural style over long distances and vast amounts of time. And they also mummify their people, which we have scanned and confirmed and found some weird stuff like 3 toes and elongated heads with larger cranial volumes than we have. Okay. We find an artifact, we x-ray it, turns out it's an ancient computer. We remove the jungle, see what's underneath, and we find the biggest megastructures in the most inhospitable climates ever. That's fine. We attempt to explain how they build this stuff. But when we try and move a rock that is 1/3 the size of this rock, it takes 3 semis pulling a custom-built trailer with 22 axles across perfectly flat land just to drop it so people can walk under it. How they did it, that is just the gateway drug. I want to know, why are they all pretty much the same? So when I was in Egypt, I discovered that this is one of the most prolific symbols in the entire country. It's everywhere. One would think that an icon this important would be very well known. And as a dude from an advanced culture myself, I know a good icon when I see one. The strange part is the God Self icon is not an icon. Culturally, it behaves more like a font. Its meaning is the same. It's just the style that gets changed. Now add that to the flower of life and the swastika, also found all over the world. And you, my friend, are staring down the rabbit hole of who we are and why we got here. Jump down the hole.
At the bottom of the sea, a group of people can be clearly seen sitting around what appears
That's
to be
crazy.
moving their arms and talking among themselves as if they were in a completely normal meeting. But all of this is underwater. There are no tricks, cuts or effects that suggest manipulation or signs of filters. The figures are there, gathered together, acting as if they are completely unaware that they are in an environment where no one could behave like this. And what's most unsettling is that when the man moves the camera back, it becomes clear that there's nothing on the surface that could project this scene onto the seabed. There are no screens, lights, nor structures to suggest an optical illusion. The image appears directly on the seabed as if it were a window into another reality or a reflection of something that shouldn't be happening there. Are we seeing a glitch in reality? An impossible projection from some unknown point? Or is it a phenomenon we simply don't understand?
All public benefit systems will now require national biometric ID enrollment. Benefits will be restored upon chip implantation.
They're making us choose.
Open it up! We need food! It's gone! EBT don't work nowhere!
Power grid outages are continuing across the officials urge residents to remain. That's it. You really cut us off.
Mama, is this all we got?
To continue receiving nutritional credits, citizens must verify identity via implantable bio-ID. Please remain calm and follow the directions of registration officials.
He can't see it.
Can you run it again?
Taking it here.
Did yours go through? All the cards are down?
Hold still. No chip, no eggs.
I just
Move along, ma'am.
want a baby. Mama? Is this all we got?
Hold out your wrist. Next, hold out your wrist.
I don't want it.
Then you won't eat. They said it'd come.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We just didn't know it'd be like this.
All public benefit systems will now require national biometric ID enrollment. Benefits will be restored upon chip implantation.
They're making us choose.
If we
News, a major current in the Southern Ocean has just reversed directions for the first time in written history. Scientists say that this is going to affect the way the ice melts in Antarctica. It's going to affect our weather system, and it's also going to affect the way our Earth can store carbon. Normally, underneath science, there's also a deeper truth. Is the embodiment of the divine feminine. She is the womb that holds the oceans. She is the body that bears the heat. And her heartbeat is what we rise and fall on. And for centuries, she's held the weight of the world unbalanced. She's absorbed the pressure, the pollution, the suppression, just like many of us women have. But here's what's happening now. She's not just melting, she is reclaiming. Since 2015, the water around Antarctica has been getting saltier. Salt adds weight to water. When that water is saltier, it's heavier, and it's going to push that down and pull up the warmer water from underneath. That heat that is rising, that's causing the ancient ice to melt. It's not a destruction, it's a return. And here's what's wild. Us women, we have been rising as well. Our bodies, our voice, our sacred fire have been unraveling in silence. As we reclaim our rhythm, the earth is also reclaiming hers. This is not a coincidence, this is a mirror. Earth is aligning with us, and the old systems that would silence her and us are crumbling. We are not breaking down, we are breaking free. So if you have felt the shift in your body, in your womb, in your waters, no, you are not alone. You are sinking with Mother, and Mother
The mystery
is
of Jack
sinking
the
with you.
Ripper has been solved. His identity has been revealed, and I can't believe who it actually is. We've all heard his name before.
Yeah.
And this has only happened because of the recent heat wave that we've had. So a family living in an old Victorian house in North London decided to get some air conditioning units fitted, and the workmen in the attic lifted up the old insulation where they found a biscuit tin, and in that tin they found letters of correspondence between the doctor who lived there, Dr. Cartwright, and someone who at the time was very, very famous, discussing the women who they murdered in graphic detail. These letters are being published today on BBC News at 7 AM. That's why I'm recording this video at 5 to 5 in the morning to try and get this out there before they're published. The most shocking part of this story is the other killer is, it turns out it's Queen Victoria's eldest son, Albert, Duke of Clarence and Avondale. Can you believe that? This is mind-blowing.
The authorities in Paris were stunned when they drained a 200-year-old canal in the city center. The goal was to clear out the built-up waste, but in the thick layer of mud and silt, workers found astonishing items. Phones, shopping carts, countless bicycles, scooters, and even motorcycles. Even more surprising was the discovery of flooded tunnels beneath the debris. Tunnels that were never mentioned in any of the canal's construction records. Scientists and archaeologists arrived at the site. As they made their way into the tunnels, they were struck by the age of the bricks and the vast scale of the underground structures, which appeared to lead toward other cities. Research is still ongoing. What lies inside remains to be seen. So follow along to find out what they uncover next.
Troops have been deployed to Memphis, Chicago, New York City, DC, Columbus, and a lot of other major cities. They're now announcing that 3i Atlas is actually an alien mothership, given the fact that it doesn't have a tail. There are UAP spottings all over the globe. Russia just attacked Poland with drones, on the verge of World War III. I think they are all connected. Even investigative journalists are being banned and shadow banned.